This is the 5th year I've done a favorite YouTubers of 2024 video, and at this point, I feel like they're becoming repetitive. You want to know who my 3 favorite YouTubers of 2024 were? It's C-Scoop, Epleman, and Dunkey. Pretty much the same top 3 I've had since 2020. The rest of the list would be filled with names like Tom Harlock, the gamer from Mars, Super Hot Fire, and basically everyone from my previous 2 lists. So, this year, I'm limiting my list to creators I haven't talked about before, or at least haven't included for the past few years. Let's get started.
I'm the Joker!
When I first saw this thumbnail in my recommended, I sent it to my friends for them to laugh at. A few months later, I was watching some video essays on some Quentin Tarantino films, and was impressed by these 2 videos. I was shocked to realize that the person who made those was the same person who made the Fight Club Trump Shooter thumbnail. And I was even more shocked when I found out I was watching Jared Bauer, the former member of Wisecrack. I never watched Wisecrack growing up, as their videos always seemed too corporate for me to connect with their content, but maybe I was missing out, because Bauer's videos are pretty insightful into whatever film he is talking about. However, I think he should invest in thumbnails that don't make me laugh hysterically when I see them.
I am not gay!
I did not care about Undertale or Deltarune, but when I broke my collarbone this year and was stranded in my college dorm for a month, I consumed a lot of Undertale theories to pass the time. The best one I saw was Writing on the Wall by Sock Muppet, who spent a year and a half making it, and released it just a week before my injury. I won't spoil the theory, but even as an outsider, it made me rethink a lot of what I had assumed about the game, even if I don't agree with everything he said. He's already released another theory, and seems to have more down the line, and part of me hopes that Deltarune Chapter 3 is delayed again, so that he can finish his series before it inevitably falls apart. If you are a fan of Toby Fox and looking for a new take on the lore of Undertale, I would recommend checking out Sock Muppet's channel.
These students are all morons!
RDC World is one of the best sketch comedy YouTube channels right now, and they've probably been one for the past 10 years or so. I'm just late to the party. They parody a wide variety of topics. The NBA, video game culture, rap music trends, even anime. Their skits are so good that they got me watching grown men dress up as Naruto when I don't even know which anime he's from. Their videos are also endlessly rewatchable, even though the sketches are typically about a trending topic that most people move on from within a week. The only reason they are not higher is because I was mostly entertained by their older videos. Doc Rivers in the Clippers locker room after losing to the Denver Nuggets is a classic YouTube video.
Look, I'm fired. I already know I'm fired. Trust me, I know. But before I go, I just want to get this off my chest. That shit was not my fault. Y'all are trash. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are trash.
But that happened in 2020. I can't give RDC World a top 10 spot because I was too nerdy to watch any NBA videos until this year.
Hi everybody, I just did my first kidnapping last night.
A long time ago, years before I even knew there was an NBA team called the Clippers, I was a fan of the commentary YouTuber Aubrey. As the years went on, I started watching him less and less as his subject matter became more predictable, and his content lost some of its edge compared to his contemporaries. However, when I saw he made a video about Queen George Santos, I decided to give him a second chance. Since then, I've continued to keep up with his output, with his 3-part Epstein series, his Vitali documentary, and his autopsy of I'm Alex's career being clear highlights. I made a mistake neglecting Aubrey's content for so long, and I look forward to seeing where he goes from here.
Hey everybody,
There are a lot of sports YouTubers that I've started watching in the past few years, so I figured I would lightning round all of them in one spot. If you're looking for a smart, analytical breakdown of the NFL, the aptly named Football Analysis is where you should go. However, if you are more interested in watching NFL videos that feature a lot of penis jokes, then Brandon Perna's That's Good Sports will probably suit you better. If you're looking for a bit of both, then Your Name Tree has got you covered. As for non-NFL centric creators, Crowley has consistently made some of the best video essays on notable NBA figures. And it's not a surprise that Bleacher Report has hired him to start making videos for them. Synthetic Sports takes a more laid-back approach to analyzing the NBA. allowing them to upload frequently while still giving good insight into the game, especially to beginner NBA fans like me. I also really like their VHS aesthetic, as while it's a common trope for true crime and analog horror YouTubers, it's a pretty unique tone for a sports creator. Now, which of these sports YouTubers is the best? Me personally, I think it's MVOS. MVOS is like if MLemon quit making videos about the weather and focused solely on sports. MVOS specializes in college football, and even though I didn't know anything about it when I started watching him, his presentation is entertaining enough that outsiders like me can still follow along without any problem. His Florida video is a clear standout, with the ending featuring some of the coolest yet simplest editing I've seen in a video. But his ongoing series where he recaps each season of Tulane's football program is equally as fun. I think the craziest part about MVOS's content is that he's only been making videos for 2 years, and is still pretty small, meaning he still has a lot more room to grow. I can't wait to see what he does next in 2025.
I'm relapsing on you!
If you're a fan of Wendigoon but wish he was even more paranoid, then you should check out Flesh Simulator. I was introduced to him when I saw his video Serial Killing for Fun and Profit in my recommended, and I've been hooked for the past few months. Most true crime YouTubers are either so serious in their presentation that they come off as pretentious, or not serious enough and wind up making a mockery of their subject matter. Flesh Simulator balances treating his serious topics with respect and employing the right amount of humor to keep the video from being too depressing.
Now turn our attention to the city of Chicago and to perhaps the most sympathetic character in this sordid affair. A successful small business owner, one-time KFC franchise manager, Junior Chamber of Commerce member, Chicago Democratic Party campaign volunteer, pillar of the community, hobbyist clown, and pedophile serial killer John Wayne Gacy.
His cinematography, editing, and even set design are also unlike anything I've seen on YouTube, and work together to create an unsettling atmosphere that complements his subject matter. While Flesh Simulator typically focuses on true crime stuff, not all of his content is as deep. He's done food reviews, story times about instruments he owns, and covered more lighthearted conspiracies, like the Australian breakdancer at the Olympics allegedly cheating. Before he did YouTube, he uploaded on TikTok. And watching some of his past TikToks, it's hard to believe the same guy who made those is making the true crime documentaries now. Right now, you never know what you're in for when you click on one of his videos. Just like MVOS, he is pretty new to making YouTube videos, and I'm excited to see what he does next. I talked about Solar Sands a few years ago during a previous end-of-year list, but I bring him up again because this year is probably his best in terms of quality. He started the year off by releasing a massive project, a video where he played dozens of the games Scott Cawthon made before he released Five Nights at Freddy's. He captured Cawthon's career as a struggling video game developer so well, beginning from when he was just a teenager exploring a hobby, to working on Christian-centric projects for his kids, to pumping out mobile games as a last resort to stay afloat financially. At the end, Solar Sands speculated what Cawthon could do if he retired from FNAF games, and tried his hand at a new project. The video made me reevaluate my opinion on Scott Cawthon and gave me a lot of respect for him. The rest of Solar Sands' output was pretty good. A short video essay about art pieces that take years to complete, a long discussion about the children's book The Giving Tree, and a somewhat predictable doomer essay about the state of Hollywood. While I enjoyed all of those videos, especially the Giving Tree one, the Scott Cawthon video was the one that stuck with me the most, and I encourage everyone to check it out, even if you aren't a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, and you got a couple neighbors calling like, hey, I don't know, this guy...
Since I talked about Nick Crowley last year, he has only grown exponentially as a creator, thanks in large part to his Smart Schoolboy 9 video. Like Flesh Simulator, Crowley is a true crime YouTuber, although unlike Flesh Simulator, his videos are always 100% serious. But while intentional comedy is absent from his content, so are a lot of the filler that similar creators tend to throw into their videos. Crowley gets straight to the point of whatever topic he is discussing, and is always on the lookout for underreported online travesties that need more attention. Now, trying to explain where my enjoyment of the literal content comes from is tough. and I've made the dubious decision of showing my friends some of his videos. At first, they think I'm an emotionalist psychopath because the video is filled with grim tales of abuse and mental illness. But then you'll watch a segment where Crowley talks about evil Dan Hentschel going on a road rage and repeatedly smashing into a cop car at like 5 miles per hour. And they'll start asking if they can watch another one of his videos. It's true that some of what Crowley covers are just generally depressing stories, and there are times when I think he could have left a story out, but most of the time, as dark as they may be, I find the stories to be genuinely interesting, or even educational. Hopefully, Crowley takes his insane growth in 2024 as encouragement to keep making his content better and better. Jun The King is a commentary YouTuber I've been aware of for years, but I never watched him because I didn't find the subject matter very interesting. Why should I care about Jun's feature-length Keemstar documentary when Turkey Tom was making videos about legends like Animated James, SoFlo Antonio, Neanners, and more in the span of a month? But now, the roles have reversed. And as Turkey Tom is focusing on trending topics, Jun The King is the creator finding lesser-known controversial figures and making documentaries on them. His Lily Orchard, Review Tech USA, and Game Dude videos were all standouts for me, not just because he was the only creator I've encountered who covered their whole career, but because of how thorough his coverage of them was. Even his videos on well-known figures like Darkside Phil and Yandere Dev are much more detailed than his contemporaries. Definitely check out Jun if you are a fan of video essays / documentaries on niche internet micro-celebrities.
Hi everybody, just a quick warning, there's a brief part of this story that is racist.
I thought for sure Gokanaru would never make another video vigilante, but out of nowhere he dropped the annihilation of Sneeko back in February. I was skeptical at first because, like I've said before, I'm not very interested in video essays about trendy figures. But when I finally sat down to watch session 3 of Video Vigilante, I was blown away. I don't think I have ever seen a more brutal deconstruction of someone's online image than Gokanaru's Sneeko vid. If this list was in order of who made the single best video this year, Gokanaru would easily be the top choice. Unfortunately, Gokanaru's drawback is that he takes literal years to put out his projects, so he hasn't released any main channel videos since the start of the year. However, he is doing weekly Friday night streams and posting clips of them on his second channel, which I watch from time to time. Last I heard, he is hard at work on his next Video Vigilante, so I'm very excited to see what Gokanaru has in store for 2025.
You're gonna keep making Superman over and over again until nobody gives a shit anymore. Because everybody's online watching me! Because everybody's on social media watching me! I am the future of entertainment! The internet is the future! Social media is the future of entertainment! I am a pioneer, not you! I am the Steven Spielberg of YouTube! Me!
She was like, I don't even want to,
At the start of the year, everyone was saying how 2024 was going to be the best year in rap music since 2016. While it is up to debate whether 2024 actually lived up to the hype, I think it is safe to say that it was the best year for music reaction YouTubers. Between the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, Future's 3 albums, GNX, Chromacopia, and more, it seemed like each month there was a new musical event that everyone was talking about. I'm Dante, John Denton, Turning the Tables, No Life Shock, Sean C, Zayas. I may not be subscribed to all of these channels, but I was tuning in whenever a new Kendrick song dropped to see their reaction. However, which of these YouTubers was my favorite? QFC is unlike any YouTube reaction channel I've seen. Instead of 1 or 2 guys sitting down in their swivel chairs, headphones on, probably streaming their reaction live on Twitch, QFC is 6 guys all sharing one couch, listening to music for the first time together on a speaker system. Reaction content is often criticized for not being transformative enough, and while I think most music reactions are transformative as the reactor is also reviewing the music by reacting to it, QFC's format for album listening is a whole different environment than listening to the music normally. Their setup feels like an actual listening party, complete with people dancing, jumping out of their seats to hidden features, and that one guy in the corner too stoned to move. Another cool thing about QFC is that they don't just listen to rap music. In fact, some of you might recognize them from their Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift reactions. I don't watch these videos because I'm not that interested in those artists, but from clips I've seen, they seem to treat those albums the same way they treat listening to a Future album, which is pretty funny. According to the intros to their videos, QFC has been working on making serious album reviews, specifically for some of The Weeknd's albums, and I'm very interested in seeing what that will look like. The one negative about their content is that you don't really get good critical analysis of the music they review, so if they can figure that out, I can easily see them going down as one of the goats of music YouTube. Anyway, I can't wait to see— oh wait, hold on. I'm getting a report from one of the top employees of Bruhlie Incorporated. What's that? Big Quint indeed came back this year? How many videos did he make? 5? What was that? One was just a reaction to Reincarnation by Kendrick Lamar because he forgot to include in his GNX reaction? That makes sense. Okay, thanks for the information, I'll update the people. No, you hang up. Alright, goodbye. QFC, I'm really happy for you. I'ma keep you on the list. But Big Quint indeed is one of the best YouTubers of all time. He's the real best reaction channel of 2024. For years, whenever I watched a video where the creator talks about their favorite YouTubers, the name Red Letter Media always came up. I checked out their channel from time to time, but to me they always seemed too professional for YouTube. They had huge sets, sketches before their reviews, and a lot of other minor details that made them seem like they were too good for YouTube. So I never became a fan. Then, this year I watched the movie Freddy Got Fingered for the first time. If you are familiar with the movie, you know that it is quite the trip to sit through. So I was looking for YouTube reviews to help me process the trauma I just endured. When you search up Freddy Got Fingered review on YouTube, 3 videos come up. There's the Red Letter Media review, the Nostalgia Critics review, and the video essay Is Freddy Got Fingered a Dadaist Masterpiece by Lindsay Ellis. I chose to watch the Nostalgia Critic. A few days later, I was still thinking about Freddy Got Fingered, and decided to give Red Letter Media's review a chance. To my surprise, I found the review to be pretty comedic and insightful, and decided to check out some more of their videos. Just 6 months later, and Red Letter Media has become one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, and I haven't even come close to watching most of their videos. RLM was created in 2004, which was before I was born, so I'm pretty far behind. But what is Red Letter Media? Just a bunch of guys talking about movies? Yeah, that's it. The channel is mostly operated by 3 guys, Mike, Jay, and Rich Evans, who receive about equal share of the videos. Huey from The Boys seems to be the 4th in their group, and I haven't gotten around to learn the other guys' names yet. Their big breakthrough was in 2009 when they released their review of Star Wars The Phantom Menace. If you've only vaguely heard of the channel, this is probably what you know them from. The review was a 7-part, 70-minute long teardown of George Lucas's passion project, and it went viral, with some even speculating that it directly influenced Lucasfilm's handling of the sequel trilogy.
Can I talk about the elephant in the room?
What is the elephant in the room? Is it The Last Jedi?
That none of this
Matters?
that this is not my fault. Mr. Plinkett had said J.J. Abrams would be great at directing Star Wars films.
You see, in my opinion, where the prequels utterly failed, Star Trek excelled. In fact, J.J. Abrams should have directed the prequels, and George Lucas should have directed people to their seats in the theater.
Today, the channel features a few different series, with the main ones being Half in the Bag, Review, and Best of the Worst. Half in the Bag and Review are both pretty similar, with both series featuring 2 hosts reviewing a movie mostly seriously. Half in the Bag focuses on new movies, while Review is reserved for old movies. On the other hand, Best of the Worst features a bigger group of hosts, and they review around 3 motion pictures an episode. Typically, these are low-budget B-movies, but they've also included infomercials, workplace training videos, tutorials on how to win the slot machine, privately distributed Christian programming, and many others. Going through their back catalog, it's crazy how ahead of the time they were on so many things. I mentioned that this year, Solar Sands made a video essay criticizing the constant cash grab sequels Hollywood puts out, but that's been one of Red Letter Media's biggest running gags since The Force Awakens came out. I was also a big fan of I Hate Everything's Search for the Worst series back in middle school, and while that does stand on its own, it's clear it was heavily inspired by Best of the Worst, along with pretty much any YouTuber who has made a living off of watching bad movies. Then there's the infamous case when RLM made a parody of Collider's Star Wars podcast, that they stopped only because Collider's show became too extreme to parody, but that's a story for another time. I feel almost embarrassed that it took me so long to start watching RLM. Like I said before, I assumed they were some corporate entity like BuzzFeed, that's channel was used to house a bunch of unrelated projects, but that couldn't be further from the truth. RLM does put more effort into their set design and sketches than the average YouTuber, but within about 30 seconds of any given video, any sign of pretentiousness goes completely out the window, and they talk like normal people. Their decades of experience in the industry has made their film knowledge and critiques very credible, but they've also never lost their original sense of humor that made them so relatable in the first place. Last year, I said that Jimmy Highroller was like the video game donkey for sports YouTubers, but in reality, Donkey is the Red Letter Media of gaming YouTubers. If you haven't heard of Red Letter Media until this video, don't do what I did and ignore their content. Go watch one of their videos now that this one is over.
Okay, go. 48. Huh!